Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. I went on another pretty crazy run with another Great League team, and before we move on to some Ultra League and Fossil Cup content, I had to show you this epic 10-0 run with Shadow Scizor. This thing is absolutely busted. It is such a strong Pokemon right now in the meta, and it's cool because it's oftentimes been it's been one of my favorite Pokemon of all time for a long time now. And if you actually look at the background wallpaper, you may have never noticed, but there are some Pokemon silhouettes in the integrated in the wallpaper of my little layout on the screen. And if you look at the left hand side, you might find Scizor in the background there. So a bunch of my favorite Pokemon in silhouettes there in the background. But here we go. The team Scizor, Blastoise, and Shadow Dusclops. We are going to counter this Araquanid with our Blastoise, and we get hit by Water Pulse. We're actually going to almost let ourselves get farmed down here in exchange for getting more energy with Scizor, and we have all this energy stored. What are they going to come in with? Let's see. It's going to be Diggersby. Oh, but then they catch on a Gligar, but this should be okay. I actually do an undercharge to get a little bit more energy. And I figure at this point they kind of have to respect the Trailblaze with a shield, so I go for the Night Slash bait. And will we pull the Protect Shield? We will. And this is going to force them to Fire Punch immediately. And I figure, you know, these Bullet Punches are really adding up. It might be worth it to get shields down for my Dusclops. I just go for the Trailblaze. It looks like I'm only going to get to one move anyway. So I go for the Trailblaze here. And I stay in, actually, and let myself get farmed down to do more Bullet Punch damage. And now Dusclops should be in a pretty good position. They're going to need like 3 Scorching Sands to knock us out. And we only need 1 Ice Punch, maybe 2 with this debuff as we see. But we should be in a pretty smooth spot here. Dusclops, really strong Pokemon as well in this new meta with more Bug-type users. Bug-type fast attacks, resisting that as a Ghost-type Pokemon. We take the double Scorch, just going to go for this Ice Punch. And Shadow Dusclops going to close out this game for us. Nicely done. Dusclops taking out the Diggersby. Kind of a weird matchup, right? Both Pokemon double resisting each other's fast attacks, but Dusclops has that super effective Ice Punch coverage, which helps it out in that matchup. Diggersby can certainly hold its own in that matchup, though. Game number 2. A fellow Blastoise user. They've got the Shiny Flex as well. We are going to build up, make sure we at least threaten the Trailblaze. They actually decide to throw on Alignment, which gives us a sneak, an entire free Bullet Punch through. I'm going to go for the Trailblaze. I'm not going to mess around with some baits. I'm going straight for the big Trailblaze. They do correctly shield it. And once again, they give me the full sneak. And I'm thinking at this point, I wonder if I can get away with a Night Slash here. But no, they actually switch into Basti, and instead of throwing my energy here, I do a bunch of Bullet Punch damage, not just to gain energy on Scizor for later, but also to make sure this is within double Hydro Cannon range. And now I think it should be pretty safely within double Hydro Cannon range. Gonna unload the first one here from the big Blast Man. And we are going to throw the second one on Charge Attack priority, maximizing our energy here. Is Bastiodon going to put up a Protect Shield to get off the Stone Edge? They are. And I'm actually kind of hoping that this knocks out, because that way it doesn't give Basti any more farm. And I do lag a turn there, so he sneaks in a Smackdown, but it shouldn't register as long as this knocks out. So that's good for us. Comes in a Jump Bluff. And this is interesting. Night Slash will do some solid chip damage here and hopefully put this within Ice Punch range, but I was a little bit worried at this point if Jump Bluff had an attack stored. But as long as we can come out of this matchup here against Blastoise with an Ice Punch, we should be okay, because I think Dusclops should win the Charge Attack priority against the Jump Bluff, and I think that's exactly what happened there. We get off the Ice Punch, knocks out the Jump Bluff, double super effective damage, and all 3 Pokemon really contributing in that game to the cause. Putting in some nice work. Let's go, baby. Oh, I got a little bit carried away there, skipping ahead. on to game number 3. This weekend coming up is NAIC. I'll be in New Orleans this weekend competing at the North American International Championship, so make sure you guys tune into that this weekend. Should be, I think, the biggest tournament ever, possibly. Like 370 people are registered for Go. Pretty crazy. Maybe EUIC had more. I forget if they had like 400 or something. But either way, going to be a massive tournament. We queue up against a Tentacruel here. Going to have to respect a Scald. They do Acid Spray bait us, so nice bait by the opponent. I am going to throw the Night Slash here and threaten the shield or the knockout. They shield. I decide to once again respect the attack with a Protect Shield of my own. It is the Scald this time. They aggressively swap into Pod, and I'm just going to make sure I get off this Night Slash because I know I pasted them at the same time. And this is nice for us because we get the boost before going down, but we get the Protect Shield, and it's a charge attack priority, so they're not able to build up much extra. I decided to come in with Clops, and you might be thinking, why Clops? Well, I resist the Fury Cutter damage at least, and I figure, I don't know, it might take a while for that pod to get within Hydro Cannon range, so I wasn't sure if Blastoise might have to take like 2 X's, or that would be pretty bad. So we get rid of it with Clops. We've got a lot of energy. Still have our full Blastoise. They make a nice catch onto Tentacruel, but I'm thinking we might still be okay here, because as long as I get rid of this and I land a Shadow Punch before this Dedenne can buff itself, this should still put it within Hydro Cannon range, hopefully. We know they're going to Parabolic Charge, and that's going to raise their defense. But I think a Hydro Cannon should still be just about enough. Let's see. We take the Parabolic Charge. Hydro Cannon coming through. We're going to throw it immediately, no messing around. Is this going to be enough to knock out Dedenne? Not quite, actually. Dedenne hangs on, but one more rollout. It does get the knockout. And we take the win there. Next battle. Yeah, this is a really fun team. Really enjoying this new meta thus far. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments. Are you guys liking this new meta? Is it taking you a bit to adjust? I've been enjoying it. Scizor into Pidgeot. These gusts are really chunking our health since we're so frail. Neutral gust damage because of that steel bug typing. And now we're going to respect an Air Cutter with a shield. It is the Air Cutter. They aggressively swap into Diggersby. I try to catch a Fire Punch. I'm unsuccessful onto my Blastoise, so they're going to probably go for Scorching Sands here. And we do get debuff, but because of the damage I did, I'm thinking this should hopefully still be within double Hydro Cannon range. Let's see. First Hydro Cannon. Bang. Yeah, looks like it's just about in double Hydro Cannon range. Maybe if they get a second consecutive debuff, then it won't be. Scorching Sands does get a second consecutive debuff. So now they might actually live this Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon incoming. Does not knock out. But they're still forced to throw, which is good for us. Okay, so that's fine. I would assume I come back in with Scizor to not reveal my last Pokemon yet. And they come in with Marowak, and I'm feeling pretty good here because I can get off this Trailblaze for some really heavy damage. Bang! And now hopefully Dusclops can close here. As long as they don't have like Feather Dance, maybe that could open up a lose condition for me, but I don't think people are going to be running Air Cutter plus Feather Dance most likely, right? So this felt like a pretty good situation. There's the Air Cutter. I do 1 Hex in throw. And this was actually kind of close because we are luckily only 1 away. I think if we were 2 away, Marowak would have won the charge attack priority, and it would have been close. But then maybe our Bullet Punch would have registered first anyway to knock out the Marowak. So I think we actually had that either way. Never mind. Never mind. But a good game nonetheless. And we keep on trucking. Yeah, this team was a lot of fun. Atlantis, the next opponent. Clodsire, interesting matchup. We resist the Poison Sting damage heavily. So there's really no fast attack pressure here. We're only threatened by the charge attacks. They throw after 7, so I'm going to respect the potential Stone Edge here. And it is the Stone Edge. And we are going to keep on building. I go all the way up pretty much as I can build. Double Night Slash here. Throw on the Charge Attack priority, so they're going to have to shield if they want to get off this next Stone Edge, which I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, because it makes sense to want to get my shields down here. But look how healthy we still are because of the lack of fast attack pressure. They swap into Gator. I build up the Trailblaze, and I'm going to bait the Night Slash here. Now, even if he calls this, I can comfortably swap into Blastoise, and he ends up shielding. So now shields are down, and we could potentially go for a Skull Bash. What does get awkward here is as he lands a next Hydro Cannon, I'm going to pretty much have to throw my Skull Bash immediately. And because I'm kind of low, I leave myself vulnerable to a potential farm down. So what I'm worried about here is if like something comes in and farms me down and gets a big energy lead, that could be bad. But it's a Venusaur, so it only gets 3. And we have a pretty decent coverage here for the Venusaur. They're 3 off the Frenzy, and I throw on what should be a Charge Attack priority here against Venu. Night Slash connects. And yeah, I think Frenzy, even double resisted, should be enough to knock out Scizor since it's such a strong move. And now we're in a great spot. And I figure I can just Shadow Punch immediately because even if he was to catch the Shadow Punch, I would actually still outpace him to the next Shadow Punch before he gets to 2 Frenzy Plants. And one single Frenzy Plant's not going to be enough to knock out Dusclops. So, good game there. And that was the first set, the first 5-0. Can we make it back-to-back 5-0s? Well, it's already been spoiled, I think, a little bit from the title. But here we go. Second set. Rank 12. I do actually have my starting ELO. Was revealed recently. I was pretty proud. I had, I think, 124 out of 170. 124 wins out of 170 battles. And had a 73% win rate to start the season, which is pretty dang strong. Against the Dene here, this is probably not what you want to do. In the moment, I was thinking like maybe Night Slash before they buff themselves, but no, I think you'd much rather build up to the Trailblaze. It's still going to be much more threatening. There's really no incentive for them to shield that. They hard pivot into Talon. Aggressive play. I'm going to throw the Hydro Cannon immediately here, really putting the pressure on them, and they decide to protect shield. I figure even if this is a Brave Bird, I should be able to hang on and get off another Hydro Cannon. It is the Brave Bird, and look at that. We barely hang on. Didn't hang on by as much as I thought, actually. Get off the Hydro Cannon here. They're going to double shield to get through us, but remember, they debuffed themselves. I decide to shield this because this could be another Brave Bird, which it is. And then they hard swap the Dene, but I'm just going to throw this punch to get rid of it. And now we've basically got 2 Pokemon against whatever's in back. And it is going to be... They're thinking. And they're thinking they don't have a win con. So good game there. Tough. Yeah, I guess it's tough to like safe swap a Talonflame right there. Talonflame, a Pokemon that can really get punished by a lot of things. Here we go. Granny Singapore. Rocking the Shiny Jellicent. Very cool. Shiny Jellicent. I'm going to build up to 7 for proper timing here and then throw the Night Slash. We're going to grab the shield and then we're going to do a fancy little catch here. We're going to do 1 Bullet Punch and then catch into our Blastoise. We catch a Surf, which is nice. This is not a good matchup for Blastoise, but oh man, I remember this now. I bait here. Dude, I so wish I didn't bait because it kind of makes sense to no shield. Because like they've already down a shield and maybe they think the bait's obvious. Oh, I definitely shouldn't have baited. And now I'm forced to shield. Like this victory bell could have already been gone. This game could have basically been over already if we landed that Skull Bash. So I'm annoyed with myself here. They come in with Dragalge. Acid Dragalge, double acid team. Night Slash. Gonna nearly 2-shot, but I think Dragalge can hang on if it wants to here. But no, Granny Singapore is gonna put up the shield, and then I make a catch on the Aqua Tail here. So our second catch in this game. Look at that shiny Dragalge, by the way. Very cool. Do I shield? No, I let it go. And it is the Outrage. I wait and I see the Jellicent come in so I can connect on this super effective Shadow Punch. That's going to be really helpful. And we get one more Hex as well. And I just get rid of it. No need to go for a potential farm down, right? Just get rid of it. And my Bullet Punches should outpace the damage of the Acid. Good game there. A little bit scary, but what a cool team. What a fun team from Granny Singapore. And I think someone asked in my chat if I had a shiny Jellicent, and I said yes. But I have the male Jellicent, the green one. Here we go. Battle Mike. Next opponent. Okay, good lead for us. Drapion does get to its attack so quick that it can draw our shields, but we, of course, heavily resist the stings. They safe swap Marowak. I'm going to throw after 6 here for proper timing and then swap into Clops. And here, I don't necessarily need to keep alignment, right? Because both Scizor and Blastoise are going to have play against Drapion. I decided to let this go. And what I end up finding out is he actually can shield this if he wants and slap through me to take back Switch, which is exactly what he's going to do. I can't really come back in with Blastoise because I can't farm down. So I have to come back in with Scizor. If we can farm down in 3 Bullet Punches, that would be ideal. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's perfect. So we're up 2 shields. Oh, man. In comes Talonflame. Not what Scizor wants to see. But luckily, Blastoise is going to be strong against Drapion as well. So I think we're in a pretty good spot here. And they understand that. So, good game. Even though we didn't really have an obvious answer right to the Marowak safe swap, we were able to handle it in a way where we got a double shield advantage. And that was enough for Blastoise to basically sweep the back line. Next opponent, Dunsparce. Interesting. Scizor versus Dunsparce. And, you know, Scizor just puts on so much pressure. I noticed it really lures trainers into throwing on alignment. They kind of disregard the timing here. So we're going to throw after 1 for proper timing. They're going to be 2 away. And we get the shield as well. And once again, we're going to see them throw on alignment. Perfect for us. And I can afford to overfarm here. You're going to see me throw after 4. Oh, no. I get a full Bullet Punch down in 6. Holy cow. Full Bullet Punch down. Oh, my gosh. In comes Altaria. I go for a Night Slash. And then I might actually look to dip. No, I guess not. Throw another Night Slash. Oh, they catch onto Beedrill. But I still have, like, no incentive to swap. I just stay in here. I get the second shield. And I think at this stage, like, I could really come in with either Pokemon, you know? I could come in with Dusclops. I can come in with Blastoise. I think whatever we do here, we're in a pretty good spot. I decided to come in with Blastoise. I guess just to make sure that, like, the Hydro Cannon knocks out. And, yeah, Scizor connects. This will obviously knock out the Beedrill. Altaria does have quite a bit of energy, but we still have 2 full Pokemon. Well, Blastoise isn't full, but fairly healthy. I just commit to the Skull Bash here. Oh, I get a little bit toxic. I get a little bit toxic here. Oh, what am I doing? I undercharge and then go for the catch. What are we doing here? Where's the sportsmanship, Rise? Where is the sportsmanship? Where is it? Nowhere to be found in the Go Battle League. What is he doing? Anyway. Gotta have some fun. Next battle. Scizor into Marowak. Going to build up to 7. Once again, they throw on alignment. People really feel the pressure from Scizor, so I think it makes them more likely to throw on bad timing to try and get off the move first. We're going to go for the Night Slash here. Grabs the shield. I'm just going to throw this immediately, and they make a nice catch onto Drapion. But I think I just stay because he can't really comfortably sting me down, right? He's forced by the Aqua Tail. And then this is actually a crazy decision. I shield again. Because if you look at my back line, right? Like, I can't really comfortably farm this down with anything. So I actually shield again. We knock out Drapion. And we keep our alignment. So if he comes in Marowak, I can kind of decipher what I want to do. Comes in with Lapras, and this is perfect. Now I can come in Blastoise here when hopefully they don't have Skull Bash, so I can absorb the energy. But let's see, they did build up a lot, so maybe they do have Skull Bash. They do. Yikes. But they're staying in. They let me get off this Skull Bash against them. This could be big if this lands, because this is the hardest hitting move I have for the Lapras, and it does connect. I catch onto Dusclops. I mean, he would throw this at Dusclops anyway, so it's barely a catch. It's more so just a swap. And then, do I commit to the farm down? I do, and luckily, he was dry. He was 4 away. So this is going to be massive for us. I get off the Shadow Punch, and the next Shadow Punch from a Shadow Dusclops, I think, should be enough to knock out Lapras from here. Bang. Knocks out. A non-Shadow Dusclops, I don't think there's any chance that would have knocked out. So there you see some of the benefits of having that Shadow variant. And we get back-to-back 5-0s, ladies and gentlemen. Is there one more bonus battle here? Oh, maybe I wanted to show you the loss. Is that what it is? No. That's just actually extra time. I think we ended up losing our next battle after this one, so it was truly a 10-0. In my last video where I showed you the 14-0 with Dragalge, I did show you guys the game that we lost, so I guess I forgot to include the game that we lost after. But yeah, 10 straight wins with this team. And when the Great League returns, of course, I highly recommend this team. I thought it was a lot of fun and very strong. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave that like button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. All comments are appreciated, and subscribe if you're new around here. All that said, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.